Live. Oh, what a week it's gonna be. What a week it's gonna be for Manchester United, bro. Like, yo, this is gonna be a major week, especially in the Bryan Mbeumo bid, right? Bryan Mbeumo, he's coming. He's genuinely gonna come, and we've made our second bid. It's really there. This is officially the Bryan Mbeumo week. I think this is the week he's gonna come, and we know United, we're trying to get these deals over the line before that preseason, right? Preseason it starts 19th, but then the players show up, they turn up on the 7th of July. So this Bryan Mbeumo, this is the Bryan Mbeumo week, and we also have so many updates about Sancho, updates about a possible swap deal, Vlahović, possible Casemiro as well, man. Casemiro to Saudi. So, hey, this is a major week, and we're hearing too much noise about Nkunku as well. So, hey, this is gonna be a massive week, right? I think right after they finalize this Bryan Mbeumo deal, they're gonna go to possibly a striker, because we've been hearing that, especially from guys like Fabrizio Romano. We've been hearing that a lot. So let's just get into this, man. Let's hear what Fabrizio has to say about some of these updates, man.
Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho. What's the situation, guys, on this one? First of all, this story starts in December. It's a story from December when Manchester United were interested in Christopher Nkunku, Chelsea were looking for a winger, and Garnacho was an option. But the deal was never close to happening in December and in January. Why? First of all, because Chelsea had different priorities, and second, also because Manchester United were interested in Nkunku, but only in a loan deal. And Nkunku didn't want to leave on loan. It was permanent or nothing. Also, Chelsea only wanted a permanent deal in January, and so this is why the deal didn't happen in the January transfer window. What's going on now? The two clubs are aware of the situation of the players. Man United know that Christopher Nkunku is available on the market. He's a player who can leave Chelsea in the summer transfer window. And Chelsea are looking for a winger, and they know that Alejandro Garnacho is available on the market and is going to leave Manchester United. So it's a similar situation that could make sense for the two clubs. This is why we have many rumors. But as of tonight, guys, I can tell you that concrete negotiations between Chelsea and Man United for Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku are still not taking place. My understanding is that the two clubs are fully aware of the situation, yes, but they're not negotiating at the moment a swap deal. No club-to-club contact, also no personal terms agreed between any of these parties involved. On the left winger, remember that Chelsea consider JB Bano Gittens, as I told you, as their priority target there. They have an agreement with the player. They are still in conversations with Borussia Dortmund. So at the moment is nothing active or concrete. Is an opportunity with the two clubs aware of the two situations, but in this moment is two separate stories. I can guarantee that nothing is advanced yet between Nkunku and Man United or between Garnacho and Chelsea at this stage. Then let me mention that, for example, Alejandro Garnacho would be very happy to play again in Premier League, to stay in Premier League, leaving Manchester United and trying a new chapter in England. That Christopher Nkunku wants to leave Chelsea because he believes it's time to go and play more. But at the moment, the priority for Manchester United remain Bryan Mbeumo and a new number 9.
So that's Fabrizio Romano, man. Bryan Mbeumo, a new number 9. That's our priority. And this Christopher Nkunku, of course, we heard it from journalists like guys like Rob Dawson. They work for ESPN, this and that. But according to Fabrizio, it's not really, nothing is really going on, because we heard about, Christopher Nkunku, apparently Vivel wanted him. So this has been debunked by Fabrizio Romano, right? Guys like Rob Dawson, they were saying, hey, Christopher Nkunku, this and that. But Fabrizio Romano coming out saying, no, there's genuinely nothing going on right now between the two clubs. There's genuinely nothing certified with these Nkunku rumors. So these were, I would rather believe Fabrizio over these other journalists. So Fabrizio coming out to say no, nothing is really concrete. Of course, Garnacho, he might somehow go to Chelsea, but those talks haven't genuinely started, right? The Garnacho transfer, we don't know where Garnacho will end up, but right now it's not Chelsea. Right now, Nkunku to Man United is not really an option. And Fabrizio Romano came out to clear the air because a lot of rumors were going around, man. A credible journalist was genuinely talking about this deal. So at least Fabrizio Romano coming out to say, nah, nothing is really going on. And yo, this Vlahović as well, right? Vlahović, Jadon Sancho. I think this is the most realistic way for Man United to genuinely get rid of Jadon Sancho, right? Jadon, he's on high wages. The wages of Jadon Sancho, that's why Chelsea genuinely sent him back, right? His wages. And now Juventus, apparently they've come in to propose like a swap deal, right? A swap deal for either Vlahović or Douglas Luiz. So it's a crazy situation with the Jadon Sancho thing, right? Because if Juventus are willing to take on his wages, and some people will say that, hey, Vlahović, he's on high wages as well. I think he's on 250 or something, 250, over 200 for sure, right? Over 200,000 for sure. So I don't know. Is this a viable option for Man United to take a swap deal for Jadon Sancho for Vlahović? Is it a viable option, right? A guy with high wages and Vlahović, is he really gonna play? Because we know the strikers were linked to, and it's not really Vlahović. I think this deal is complicated, man. Obviously, Juventus, apparently they put that deal on the table, either Vlahović or Douglas Luiz. I think you probably pick to swap Douglas Luiz, right? Because Vlahović, he's on high wages, and I don't really see a situation where Ruben Amorim really uses Douglas Luiz, Vlahović as a usual candidate, right? As a usual player. So I just see a situation where if he does come in, it's another situation where, okay, he's going to be on the bench. You're going to get a new strike because Vlahović, I don't think he's one of the strikers on our list. So having that type of swap deal, somehow, of course, a lot of fans, we want to see, okay, a situation where you just get rid of Jadon Sancho, but somehow it doesn't make sense because if he comes in, Vlahović, and then he'll just be another squad player, right? Because we are gonna sign a striker separate to Vlahović. Vlahović is a good player, bro. He's a good player, but we know the strikers we've been linked to. Ekatike, obviously the Gyökeres deal fell apart, but these are the types of strikers we are being linked to, and Vlahovic's name hasn't really popped up. It's only popped up now that this swap deal has genuinely been active. But yo, the main major news, bro, the main major news is Bryan Mbeumo. This guy apparently news just coming out this morning, man. News just coming out this morning. Apparently our second bid is expected to be accepted, right? And we heard from Fabrizio Romano as well saying, here we go is coming soon. So Bryan Mbeumo, I think this is gonna be over the line, man. That deal we genuinely put out, that bid we genuinely put out, I think is gonna be accepted. 60 million plus add-on. So that should be enough. That should be enough for Brentford. I think this is the week he genuinely comes. This is the Bryan Mbeumo week. And with Bryan Mbeumo, he's going to add so much to this team because he adds goals. He adds just he's decision making, right? In the Premier League, he's decision making. He knows when to shoot or when to pass. So Bryan Mbeumo, he has a high football IQ. So I'm just happy that okay, this deal is over the line, and this week we might even hear an official announcement from Manchester United confirming this deal because that bid it went in yesterday, and by Friday I genuinely believe okay, everything is sorted. We're just seeing the final stages, and then probably next week Bryan Mbeumo is gonna be traveling to do some photo shoots, things like that. Media, talk to the media, do interviews. We know the process with Man United when a new player signs in, right? They fly over and then they start taking photos. After the photos, they do an interview. After that, then they can do whatever they want, right? Go back to your holiday, do this, do that. But I think that's gonna be the process with Bryan Mbeumo. Next week, he comes in, takes some photos, does an interview. We know the process with Man United. And the most important thing with this Bryan Mbeumo deal, because we know how Man United move, bro. Season after season, we know this. It happened with the Cunha deal, right? When they release the away kit, a new player will be signed. I know that for sure. They do that every season, bro. When the new home kit came out, that's when they unveiled Cunha. So they do this every season. When the away kit comes out, obviously a date for the away kit hasn't been confirmed, but when the away kit comes out, they will unveil another player. They do this so much. The marketing from Manchester United is top class, and they know what they do every season, every year. Okay, when we have a new away kit, we drop a new player, a new signing, an interview. So I genuinely do believe, okay, in the next 2 weeks, we will see Bryan Mbeumo in that Manchester United shirt, especially in that away kit. When that away kit genuinely comes out, we're gonna see a new player for sure, man, for sure. That's how Man United keep moving, and that's how they'll keep moving, I think, forever. So we know this, the tactics with Manchester United, man. We know how they move. We know how they operate market wise. The Glazers are still in charge, so market wise, that's what they've been doing season after season. So I expect that to happen, man. And apparently, hey, Al Nasser, the club Ronaldo plays for, are close to signing Casemiro, man. So Casemiro to Saudi, that's major. So if this happens, for sure, we're gonna sign probably two midfielders, right? Because if you're losing Casemiro, you've already lost Christian Eriksen. So this Casemiro to Saudi, it means a major midfielder is coming in, right? Because I don't see a situation where you lose Casemiro to Saudi and then you don't really replace him with a major midfielder, because we saw, okay, 2025, Casemiro had a revival. Obviously, 2024 under under Eric Ten Hag, and then the first spells of Ruben Amorim, Casemiro wasn't extremely good. But 2025, this man was turning up in Europa League semifinals, Europa League quarterfinals. So I do see a situation, okay, Casemiro, if he goes to Saudi, joining Ronaldo, we sign another, probably two midfielders, because we already had plans to sign a midfielder, and now if Casemiro goes, you have to sign another one, because I think they're also looking at squad depth, right? Squad depth, the people coming in. So Casemiro leaving, it does mean somebody will come in, right? I wish the man luck in Saudi. He's gonna make a lot of money. We know how the Saudi moves are. It's mostly about, okay, how much can I make? What can I make? It's a retirement league at this point, Saudi. But we're seeing some Saudi teams doing their thing in the FIFA Club World Cup. But overall, it's a retirement league, and yes, Casemiro, he's gonna go there, make his money. That means Man United, we're gonna sign some players, man. We're gonna sign some midfielders, and I won't be shocked, because this Bryan Mbeumo deal, it's oh, I consider it over the line, right? I consider it over the line, and now we're gonna focus on a striker. We heard what Fabrizio Romano said. Okay, we're gonna focus on a striker, and then after that, if Casemiro does go to Saudi, because these reports are saying, yo, it's most likely, right? Ronaldo is there. Ronaldo is talking to the guy, come to this club, this and that. That's the club Ronaldo plays for. So if it does genuinely happen, I expect minimum at least one midfielder to come in, and quality midfielder. So next season, the midfield is gonna be just Casemiro. Oh, sorry, not Casemiro. Bruno, probably another midfielder, Ugarte, and yeah, looks like this situation just confirms that, okay, Kobe Mano, he's going nowhere, right? He's going nowhere, Kobe Mano. So yeah, Casemiro leaving, I don't think they'll put themselves in a situation where you lose Kobe Mainoo as well. So I think those contract negotiations with Kobe, they're gonna be sorted out. Obviously, Garnacho, we still don't know where he's gonna go, man, because right now Napoli, it looks like they pulled out of that deal. It looks like they pulled out of that Alejandro Garnacho deal. One, he's extremely expensive, right? So Man United, we might just have to lower the price tag for Garnacho if you want to genuinely sell him. But overall, this it's gonna be a crazy transfer window because our midfield for sure, two new midfielders. That would be great, man. Let's see who they go for. Edison. Let's hope we revive those Edison deal, those Edison rumors because he's a quality midfielder. If you bring in Edison and my guy Richard Rios, that's different, man. That is a different type of midfield, and let's just see what they do in the midfield. But yeah, this Casemiro news, we wish him luck, man. We wish him luck. He's done his thing at Manchester United. Obviously, he hasn't won major trophies, but he's won an FA Cup. He's won a Carabao Cup. It's not major, but he's won something, right? It's better than nothing, man. If he was playing for Arsenal, he would have left with nothing. So at least the man has accumulated a trophy, and yeah, we wish him luck in Saudi, man, if it does genuinely happen. But yeah, apparently Johnny Evans as well, man. Johnny Evans is back, and this is apparently gonna be what, a youth, he's gonna be overseeing like youth loans and things like that. I know some people will be upset with this deal. Oh, why is Johnny Evans back at the club? Why are you giving him a job? You should get best in class. And I kind of agree with that viewpoint. Okay, Johnny Evans, he's coming for a major job. Okay, overseeing like youth loans, right? When uh an academy player goes out on loan, Johnny Evans will be overseeing him. Obviously, some fans will be upset that okay, Johnny Evans has been given a job by Manchester United with no experience. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Obviously, we heard what these guys said. Oh, we're gonna get the best in class for every position, for everything we do. So hey, Johnny Evans coming back, given a job, obviously it's gonna have people who have like mixed feelings about this, right? Some people will be happy that okay, Johnny Evans, he's back having a job at Manchester United, but some people, they will be upset. Hey, why are you giving this job to Johnny Evans? He's not really the best in class. So it's gonna have a mixed feeling, bro. But I think it is what it is, man. Johnny Evans, yeah, it's fine, man. Like Johnny Evans, it's not like it's a major job where he's scouting new players. You have to have insane experience. It is what it is, man. Yeah, what he's done for the club, bro. It is what it is. It's okay, man. Like if they give him, it's not like okay, he's overseeing something for the first team. It's just overseeing like loan deals for academy players. I think it is what it is. So yo, Johnny Evans, let's hope he does well in his new job back at Manchester United. So we'll be seeing him probably at the stadium a lot of times. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And United, obviously, we heard that situation where they fired like over 90 scouts, right? Vivel, Omar Barada, these guys fired over 90 scouts. They weren't really impressed with what these scouting departments have been doing for the last 10 years. So some of these scouts they fired, they've been here for the last 10 years, over 10 years, not really delivering quality. So over 90 scouts have been fired, and now it's just 10 remaining. So that's a major decision as well from Manchester United. And ah I just hope the people that are in this scouting department are top class, man, top quality, because we've seen, okay, somebody like Diego Leon, he has hype, but will he deliver? This hope he does, right? He's gonna fly to Manchester 1st July, and then 7th of July, most of our players will be back training and just getting ready for that preseason. So I think scouting departments, we might see a few more appointments, but usually as fans, we're only focused on like, okay, who are you bringing in? Who are you signing? And yeah, so that striker position, man, it's either Ekatike. Obviously, we've heard a swap deal for Vlahović and Sancho. I don't think United will take that option because it might be a Douglas Luiz situation, man, because Vlahović, I don't see him being played by Ruben Amorim because we know the type of striker Ruben loves, right? Somebody like a Gyökeres. That's the type of striker he always loves, like somebody tall, physical, and can bully defenders, man. I think Vlahović, of course, he has his attributes, but Ah, do I see it really happening with Jadon Sancho and the club also taking on Vlahovic's wages as well because he's over 200K as well. So you're swapping Sancho for somebody who's also on high wages. I think they might just take the Douglas Luiz, man. Douglas Luiz. We might need a midfielder. It's something, man. It is something, but we've been linked to so many midfielders. Douglas Luiz. We've also been linked to João Paulinho. I think that might be the one, right? João Paulinho might be the one to watch out for because those have been from credible sources. João Paulinho, and recently we've heard Richard Rios. So with Casemiro going, these are the main guys we might have to look forward to. So, let's just hope we do something soon, man. At least before that 19th of July. Get in a proper midfielder. Get in proper striker. Right? Bryan Mbeumo is here. That's amazing. But other positions as well. Other positions need to happen. So we're doing our thing. Nkunku, we heard from Fabrizio. That's not really concrete, right? That's far from being concrete. Garnacho, we don't know where he's gonna end up. And I know a lot of fans are upset with what Garnacho posted. Rashford as well, upsetting fans, doing interviews with Barcelona journalists, this and that. So it looks like these guys are trying to force themselves out, right? Rashford, Garnacho. It genuinely does look like, okay, these guys, they're trying to force themselves out. They're trying to find a new club. And tension is it's just gone with Alejandro Garnacho, right? A lot of fans have just given up on him right now. The post he made, it's upset a lot of people, and I I think he can come back from this situation, but hey, oh my audio, yeah. Hey, let me check the audio settings, but hey, this is probably just Garnacho, man. Like, let's see what happens with that situation because Alejandro Garnacho, do I see a situation where Chelsea take him on, especially with how he's been presenting himself offline, things like that, attitude problems, this and that. So it's gonna be hard to sell Garnacho, especially how he's moving right now, right? Alejandro Garnacho, obviously from the academy, some fans really love him, some fans are just tired of him. It's a mixture, man. It is a mixture for Garnacho, but wherever he goes, if it's not a Premier League club, I wish him luck, man. If he goes to Chelsea, I hope he flops. I hope he fails, but wherever he goes, man, I just want us to sell the players we don't need. Sell Rashford, sell Garnacho, sell Sancho, and then just start a fresh life. Start building a foundation. At least by next season, we're in a position where you're at least competing, bro. You are at least competing for something. I think with the players we've brought in, what's the realistic target? Some fans would say, hey, with the players who are bringing in Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, if you get a new striker, minimum top five, I think that's some fans' expectations. And we've seen our first five fixtures. they're not really easy, but overall, it's about a full season, right? A full season. What can Ruben Amorim do? How can Ruben Amorim cook? And right now, these are the players he wants. That's why I'm against the Vlahović swap deal for Sancho, because I just want a situation where, okay, just give the man the players he wants, right? Give Ruben Amorim the players he wants, so that, okay, if he doesn't want this guy, next season we don't have a situation where, okay, it's not his players, this and that, right? The board are forcing players on him. At least right now, Bryan and Mbeumo, he loves him. Cunha, the manager loves Cunha, so he's building a foundation of players he loves, right? Patrick Dogu, that's another Ruben Amorim player. So he's building a foundation of guys he wants, players he trusts, and that's really important, man. That is really important. If the manager has lost belief in Garnacho, if the manager has lost belief in the players we have, you just have to move them on. I think that is the best situation for both parties. Okay, the manager doesn't really trust Garnacho, move him on. He doesn't trust Rashford, move him on. That's how we should be moving as a club, as Manchester United, because truly it's just about moving forward, man. It is just about moving forward and building something realistic. And I don't know what has happened to this goalkeeping situation. Obviously, we were hearing about Emi Martinez, but reports came and said, hey, goalkeeper is not really a massive position, right? They'll analyze the transfer window after they cover all the positions, then they'll see whether a new goalkeeper comes. So, Ish, this might just mean Andre Onana stays, right? Onana, this this probably means, yo, Onana is here to stay, right? Because goalkeepers, all that noise has really calmed down. We were hearing Emi Martinez from Aston Villa. All that noise has really calmed down, and I don't think we should go into a situation next season where Andre Onana is our number one. Let's prevent a situation like that, because back-to-back seasons, the guy has let us down. Champions League, he's the guy that let us down, right? In some games in the Europa League, right? He let us down with some mistakes. Premier League, he's let us down so many times. So I think next season we do need a goalkeeper. I think a goalkeeper is a must. Why is Omar Barada not really prioritized in that position? I think it should be prioritized. We know Sir Jim Ratcliffe added his own money. Now we can spend a bit more. And I think that's why we've even paid this much for Bryan and Mbeumo, right? 60 M's for Bryan and Mbeumo, 60 M's for Cunha. So we've already spent over 100 million this summer transfer window. So it looks like we are going to be spending, but let's see how much. Let's see how much we're willing to spend, because the next position, that's where you have to break the bank, right? A striker, every club, they're gonna they're gonna genuinely want a lot of money, except if you go for somebody like Mateta. Obviously, that's the guy a lot of people want, but that's a position you gotta break the bank. Obviously, over 70 million you're gonna need to buy a new striker. Ekatike, we heard what his club want, a lot of money, right? Same with Gyökeres. If you go for Gyökeres, you have to spend a lot of money. If you go for any striker, right? Any strike, unless it's an unknown striker from Brazil, you're gonna spend over 60 million. So it looks like this transfer window, we are spending some money. We are genuinely getting active, and it's more organized, right? The other transfer windows was so disorganized. You go for Frankie De Jong, a guy you don't really know will come or not. So at least these transfer windows are a bit more organized, man. They are a bit more organized. We have to wait and see, bro. Vlahović, obviously Juventus have put that on the table, bro. Some swap deal, Vlahović for Sancho. We have to see if Man United take that that swap deal, bro. Because obviously Juve, Italian teams want Sancho, bro. A lot of Italian teams do want Jadon Sancho. Do I see a situation where Man United do take that offer of, okay, let's have a swap deal for Vlahović and Sancho? I think our club, we already know the strikers we want, right? The options we want. And I don't see Vlahović as a Ruben Amorim player, bro. As a Ruben Amorim striker, because we've been hearing Gyökeres that fell apart. Let's just see. Let's just see. Vlahović, if he does come in, hey, I wish him luck, but right now I don't think this will happen, bro. I don't think United will take such a swap deal. Sancho for Vlahović, of course, they're desperate. We are desperate to get rid of Jadon Sancho, especially because of his wages. And Juventus are the only club willing to pay his wages. They want to avoid that transfer fee of 25 million, but then also just get into the business, man. Proper swap deal, this and that. But I don't think we'll take that option, bro. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano came out with that update, bro. Nkunku apparently, that's there's no news in that, right? He's debunked the fake news, man. A lot of journalists from ESPN, they were saying this is a viable option. Like some journalists from Sky Sports, that's why this Fabrizio Romano, man. Let me play that again, bro. Fabrizio Romano came out to debunk that, bro. He came out to
and Alejandro Garnacho. What's the situation, guys, on this one? First of all, this story starts in December. It's a story from December when Manchester United were interested in Christopher Nkunku, Chelsea were looking for a winger, and Garnacho was an option. But the deal was never close to happening in December and in January. Why? First of all, because Chelsea had different priorities, and second, also because Manchester United were interested in Nkunku, but only in a loan deal. And Nkunku didn't want to leave on loan. It was permanent or nothing. Also, Chelsea only wanted a permanent deal in January, and so this is why the deal didn't happen in the January transfer window. What's going on now? The two clubs are aware of the situation of the players. Man United know that Christopher Nkunku is available on the market, is a player who can leave Chelsea in the summer transfer window, and Chelsea are looking for a winger, and they know that Alejandro Garnacho is available on the market and is going to leave Manchester United. So it's a similar situation that could make sense for the two clubs. This is why we have many rumors. But as of tonight, guys, I can tell you that concrete negotiations between Chelsea and Man United for Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku are still not taking place.
So that's Fabrizio Romano, man. Nothing concrete is taking place, bro. Nothing concrete is taking place. Apparently, both players are on the list, right? Garnacho is on the Chelsea list. Nkunku, apparently, he's on the Man United list. But nothing concrete is really taking place. And Fabrizio, he genuinely posted this video yesterday. So right after those rumors came out, Fabrizio came out to say, no, nothing concrete is taking place. Nothing substantial is genuinely taking place. Both players are on the list, right? Garnacho is on the Chelsea list, and Nkunku is on the Man United list. Obviously, Vivell, the guy that's at Man United, he loves Nkunku. He put him on the list. He thinks, hey, in a better environment, Nkunku will do well. But right as of now, we heard from Fabrizio, nothing concrete is genuinely happening, bro. So Nkunku, hey, I wouldn't want him at Man United though. I wouldn't want him at Man United because uh I think he is injury prone. I wouldn't want him at Man United. He's injury prone. He struggled in the Premier League. I think you should be just getting players that have already succeeded in the Premier League. That's the position we're in. There's no need to start taking risks on this guy, risks on that guy, because with Nkunku, we know he's injury problems. One, he has injuries. Two, he's inconsistent in the Premier League. He has really struggled, bro. So Nkunku, I don't think these are the types of players we should be going for, bro. Just try to build a foundation of players that you can rely on, right? Players that are already succeeding. Guys like Cunha. Cunha, he was succeeding, no injuries. You bringing him in. I think that should be the standard for Manchester United. Players like that, not Nkunku. You're taking a risk with players like that, right? It's a hit and miss. Yes, there's a situation where he comes in and does well, but That's not that's not likely, bro. That's not likely based on what he's been doing for Chelsea, a team that's finished above us, bro. So Nkunku, he was struggling for Chelsea, a team that finished above us. He's gonna genuinely struggle at Man United. So I think those shouldn't be deals where we should be looking for, bro. At least build a better foundation. And is obviously some people say that the same thing about João Paulinho. Oh no, he's flopped at Bayern, but with João Paulinho, he's done it in the Premier League. So if you do a loan for João Paulinho, let's see how he does for one season, a loan with an option to buy or something like that. Let's see how he does for one season, because midfielders, that's the next position we're going for. I still believe, okay, Edison, that guy should be above João Paulinho. Somebody like an Edison, he should be above João Paulinho. But whoever you go for, just make sure they're competent. Make sure they are unbelievable, bro, at what they do, right? They build a foundation. They take us to the next level. That's all we need as Manchester United, bro. That is all we need. We don't need another season where week in, week out, you're losing. Week in, week out, you're failing to get back-to-back wins in the Premier League, right? You're finishing bottom half of the table, negative goal difference. We need to leave those days behind, bro. We need to leave those days behind. This season, quoting the manager, better days are coming, man. Better days are coming. We hope better days are coming. This season, let's just build a foundation so that those better days come, bro. Because if you keep the same the same situation, if we keep bringing in players like Nkunku, guys that are struggling in other clubs, it's gonna be the same situation next season where they're struggling for Man United, they're inconsistent, and then you're back to square one, back to losing games. That last season, we should never experience a season like last season, bro, because that was horrific, bro. That was horrific. Below average, week in, week out, we're getting beaten, right? So let's just hope those better days do come, man. I believe in Ruben. And with Omar Barada, this is the time to shine for you, Omar Barada, right? Show the fans that, okay, you have a strategy, you have a plan. We heard what the man had to say. Okay, for every scenario, we know what we're gonna do. For every situation, we know who we're gonna bring in. And I just hope those Richard Rios rumors do come in clutch. Richard Rios, insane player. I do hope those rumors come in clutch. We get somebody like that. I think you have a midfielder for a long time, but let's see who they genuinely sign in the midfield department, bro, because this transfer window, we're cooking. We are cooking.
My understanding is that the two clubs are fully aware of the situation, yes, but they're not negotiating at the moment a swap deal. No club-to-club contact, also no personal terms agreed between any of these parties involved. On the left winger, remember that Chelsea consider Jamie Banner Gittens, as I told you, as their priority target there. They have an agreement
But
with they're still in conversations with Borussia Dortmund. So at the moment is nothing active or concrete.
But there's another video of Fabrizio Romano, man. Like, this man has been given credit, fair play to Fabrizio, man. He gives the updates, he gives what the fans really want.
Because for Jadon Sancho, there are also
so many updates on Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio has been giving them weekly, bro. Weekly, daily, actually. So this is another video.
Jadon Sancho, there are also movements taking place. Manchester United have been clear with the player. They will try to sell him in this first part of the summer transfer window. So if they find a permanent transfer proposal, for Man United is the best solution. And also for the player to part ways on a permanent transfer. At the moment, still nothing concrete in terms of advanced negotiations. Interest from Napoli, but Napoli don't want to cover the whole salary of Jadon Sancho. And Napoli don't want to cover the whole salary, even in case they sign him on a permanent transfer. So the transfer fee will not be a problem for Napoli, but the salary is too high. So or Man United accept Napoli conditions maybe later in the window, or Jadon Sancho has to accept a different salary to join Napoli. Otherwise, it's going to be a different club. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this case, but the expectation remains for Jadon Sancho to leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window after Chelsea decided not to activate the option to keep the player at the club.
So you're saying the sound only comes out on the left side. I don't know why that's happening, bro. I do not know why that is happening. Let me just check the sound settings, bro. Because I don't know why that's genuinely happening. Why? So it's only coming on the left hand side. Damn. Damn. I might have to like update OBS after this, right? The software I'm using, OBS Studio. I don't know why the sound is is doing that, but oh, apologies for that, bro. Apologies for that. But yo, it's a crazy situation, man. Fabrizio has been given so many updates, bro. Like week in, week out, day in, day out with Man United. This guy is always active. He's giving the updates the fans are waiting for, the fans are looking for. Oh, stereo speakers. Damn. I'll try and sort it out, bro. Like, hey, I don't know why this is happening though. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why this is genuinely happening. Maybe it is YouTube, but I think it's OBS Studio, man. I gotta just sort it out after this, man, because let's hope the next time, because yesterday it was given a similar situation, but uh it is what it is, man. When you have cheap equipment, it's always gonna give you problems, man. That's the thing with having like cheap equipment. It's not like I'm working on like from a studio, expensive equipment. That's the problem with having like cheap equipment, bro. Apologies for that, bro. Apologies for that. But yeah, Fabrizio, man, this guy has been active though. I have to give him credit for that. Okay, week in, week out, the man is turning up with a lot of transfer news, a lot of updates. Moise Kean, apparently, we won't really go for that. Obviously, the guys that came out with those Moise Kean transfer rumors, they were credible. They are credible journalists, but do I see Moise Kean? Let's see what we do as for the striker, bro, because I still see Hugo Ekitike as the main guy. Obviously, that whole transfer situation is it's slowed down. Hugo Ekitike to Man United. It's calmed down massively, bro. We were hearing a lot of rumors of him to Man United, but right now that situation has gone down. I don't know what's really happening with that, right? But we heard Fabrizio right after this, right after the Mbeumo deal, we're gonna focus on a striker. We're gonna bring in a striker. So by next week, we're gonna have a clear identity of okay, which striker is gonna come in. Is it Ekitike? Is it Osimhen? Obviously, the Gyökeres situation has fallen apart. So I still see a possibility where Gyökeres comes, but it's really slim, bro. It is really slim right now. It looks like it's a situation of Ekitike, maybe Osimhen, but I don't think that will happen with Osimhen. So probably Ekitike. I don't know how fans will react with that. Some fans, they don't really want Ekitike. Some fans, they do really want him. He's good on the ball. He's technical, this and that, but let's see what happens with our striker, bro. Because next season we shouldn't be in a situation where your striker is struggling, your striker is literally wasting opportunities, destroying the attack. And also with Højlund, apparently he's gonna go to Inter. So Højlund, you're saying your OBS audio is happening from yesterday. Yeah, I will fix it, bro. I will fix it. Let me see. Let me see, bro. Let me try and I'll try and like plug in the mic for tomorrow, right? Obviously, it's, this OBS, I might have to update it as well. Let me try update it and then try and fix it. Try and delete the app and then reinstall it, bro. I think that might be the best best solution. Delete the app and then reinstall it, because this situation has been going on, bro. It has been going on. I tried to fix it, and then it's a complicated thing, bro. It is a complicated thing, but yeah, I'll just wrap it up from here. Try and fix this audio, but I appreciate everybody that genuinely you're saying not that difficult. Oh. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that joined, bro. Obviously, I'll sort this audio out, and yeah, these updates from Fabrizio, from other credible journalists. Obviously, we haven't heard somebody like Ornstein speak. He only speaks when a deal is extremely close. So when Ornstein genuinely says something about our striker situation, we know, okay, now it's time. Now it's genuinely time to get a new striker. Now it's genuinely time to get somebody over the line that's gonna be competent, that's gonna be good for Man United. But I appreciate everybody that joined this stream, and